Hello, it's Sonia here with The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today is Tuesday, and that means it's Tunisian Tuesday. So we are going to be doing a stitch pattern. So I am using my G hook, or 4.25 millimeter hook, and I have this cotton yarn, which I would say is more like a number 2, a finer weight yarn, like a sport weight here. And I do not know the brand of this yarn. The label disappeared a very long time ago. Alright, so let's get started. So this stitch pattern, you'll be able to use a variety of hook sizes and yarn types. And you will need to chain an even number. So why don't we chain 14? Okay, so we have 14 chains. So our first row is our setup row. And if you've never done Tunisian crochet, I do have a complete playlist that goes over the basics. And Tunisian crochet, each row is worked in 2 parts. So we are doing the first part, which is called the forward pass, and that means we are going to be putting our stitches on our hook. So in the second chain from our hook, you're going to turn it over, and there's that back bump. We're going to be working in the back bump, and we're going to insert our hook in that bump, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And we're going to continue across, working in the back bump, pulling up loops. So doing our forward pass, putting our stitches on our hook. Okay, I've got one more stitch to go. And at the end of this row, I should have 14 loops on my hook. So whatever amount you chained is what this amount you're going to have on your hook. So I do indeed have 14 stitches. So now we need to work these off. So that's the second part of our row 1. That is the return pass. So you're going to yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. Alright, so now we're going to begin. We're going to be working purl, so Tunisian purl, so that means your yarn is in front, and if you do not know how to do Tunisian purl, that is in the playlist. Alright, so we're going to do a Tunisian purl decrease. So our yarn is in front. Our first 2 vertical bars, we're going to insert our hook in those first 2. We have our yarn in front, and we're going to work that purl stitch. And now we need to put the stitch back on our hook because we still want to end up with 14 stitches or whatever amount you chained at the end of our forward pass. So we're going to do what I call is yarn over purlwise. Normally you yarn over like this, but we're going to yarn over purlwise because we want you want to be set up to do the next stitch, which will also be Tunisian purl. So your yarn is in front. You're going to wrap it from the front to the back and to the front again. And now we're ready to go to do our next Tunisian purl decrease. So we're inserting our hook in the next 2 vertical bars. So there's that first one, there's that second one, and working that purl stitch. And we're going to yarn over purlwise again. And we're going to keep going all the way across. So we have 3 stitches left. So those next 2 vertical bars, work that Tunisian purl. So we do need to put the stitch back on our hook, but because of the last stitch that we need to work, we're not working in purls, so we're going to do a regular yarn over, just like that. and we're going to work that last stitch where it looks like a chain, and you insert your hook through that chain, pull up a loop. So we should still have 14 loops on our hook. We can do a quick count. And we do indeed. And again, if you have a different amount, let's say you chained 18, then you should have 18 loops on your hook. All right, so we're going to work these off like we did row 1. Yarn over, pull through 1. Yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. All right, so now we are going to work row 3. So row 3, we're going to purl all the way across. So we're going to have our yarn in front. We're not decreasing or increasing. We're just going to work Tunisian purl in all of those vertical bars. Oops. Grabbing extra loops, don't want to do that. So what can happen is this stitch, it can shrink down. So I just wanted to grab, fell off there, a smaller hook so you can see right here is our next vertical bar. So you just want to make sure you don't miss it, because when so we're going to work that purl stitch. We're going to work the next one so you can see those two really easily, and you're going to work that Tunisian. So as soon as you pull that up, it automatically shrinks down the next one. So you just want to make sure you don't miss it. So I'm just going in there, pulling it back up. So all the way across, we're going to work Tunisian purl, and again, I will have 14 loops on my hook. Okay, so I'm at the end of my row. We have 2 stitches left. So here is that yarn over, the regular one, and then our last stitch, it looks like a chain. So we're going to purl in that yarn over, and then work just in that chain, pulling up our loop. And again, we should still have 14 loops on our hook, and we do indeed. So we're going to work these off like we've done the previous 2 rows. So yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. So let's work row 4. So row 4, we're going to work a purl stitch in that first stitch, just a regular purl, and we're going to work Tunisian purl decrease, so those next 2 vertical bars. So there's the first one, the second one, and then we got a yarn over purlwise, and then we're going to repeat that across until we have 3 stitches left. So yarn over purlwise, okay, so now we have 2 stitches left. So the second to the last stitch, we're working just a Tunisian purl, and then we work in that stitch that looks like a chain, and we're back having our 14 loops on our hook for our forward pass. So now we just work them off like normal. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. Okay, so then row 5 is going to be a repeat of row 3, where you're just working Tunisian purl all the way across. And then what you're going to do is repeat rows 2 through 5 for however long you want your swatch, and then you want to end on a row 4, and we'll do our last row in pattern working purl. So again, repeat rows 2 through 5 for however long you want your swatch, and end on a row 4, and I will meet you back to do the bind off. Okay, so here is my swatch, and I've already done the bind off here on this sky. I ended up working 13 rows. So here is my other swatch I did. I used worsted weight yarn, or number 4 yarn, and this is Red Heart Super Saver, I know that for a fact. And I used an eye hook or 5.5mm hook to do this, and I did 12 stitches and we have 16 rows. So now we need to do the bind off, and this one we worked in pattern 2 through 5 and I ended on a row 4. So we are going to do the bind off. So we're just going to bind off in pattern. So this is a purl row all the way across. So you just work that purl stitch and then bind off. And again, as I always say, make sure that you have a more relaxed hand when you're doing your bind off, because you don't want it to look too tight, because that'll mess up the tension of your work. And also, if you're not familiar with binding off, it is in the playlist. Bind off just helps make your project look a little bit more finished. Okay, so we are at our last stitch. So in that stitch that looks like a chain right there, insert your hook and work that bind off there. So as you can see with this stitch pattern, it lays flat, which is really nice because it has all those purl stitches in there, because Tunisian Crochet does like to curl. It can be a curler, but this guy is nice and flat, and I think it looks really nice in using the G hook or 4.25mm hook and the finer yarn, or using the heavier yarn. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.